Hi everyone, and welcome back to Wander Freely. We're in a bit of a winter wonderland, and I wanted to do this video because in the event that you find yourself camping in your RV in a winter cold climate, there may be some things that you want to be able to expect. So we thought that we would show you and give you some tips. I did do a post on the blog that kind of gives some more details. We've definitely upped our game. You know, we kind of did a milder version of winter prep earlier in the kind of like late fall, early winter, but now we have definitely upped our game because as the new year came in, we've had several weeks now where it has been very, very cold and nights down around 0, even below 0, and days in a row, like 10 days in a row where it has not got above freezing. And we're still here, so it's okay. We made it, but it has been a challenge, and I want to show you some of the things that we've done. If you're looking for more of the details on this, check our post. I'm going to put the link up here because that will have, I think I'm going to have Chris do a little sketch and stuff for what we did to the outside of the RV, and that'll have more of the serious details, but I wanted to just take you along and give you some tips right now. And let's get started right back here with this mess that we have. As you can see, we have a ton of winter coats now. We have hats and gloves and scarves up here, and you can really see, like, you know, that's one of the biggest challenges in terms of inside the RV is that your storage basically shrinks because all of your winter stuff is so much bigger than your, you know, your tank tops and shorts that you have most of the time that you're RVing. So that's a big consideration to start out with. In addition to coats, you will also have very wet and yucky shoes. And what I did here, you can see, is since we're just looking at this temporarily, I just took the floor mats out of the car. We had, you know, like durable plastic, whatever it is, ones. I took them out of the back seat since we don't really have anyone sitting in the back seat ever, and we were using those to collect these. So you can see the snow on my boots and on Chris's boots, and this really helps to collect that water. Otherwise we were having puddles like just filling this whole area. So it gets really messy too because everything gets muddy, you know, once the snow thaws, and it's a lot of mud around the campground. So that's something to think about as well. Well, it is actually a really beautiful day out here. You can see all the snow just still clinging to the trees. I think we got about, I don't know, like it looks like about 5 inches yesterday. And you can see what this really just looks like. What would this be like for you if you were doing this? Chris is out shoveling around the camper. Hey, Katya, busted. What are you doing?
He's emptying the kitchen tank.
Emptying the kitchen tank. So how did you...
Careful, it's real slippery right here.
Oh, is it? Okay. How did you show us? Can you... Oh, my goodness. Okay. It looks like it's frozen. Can't open the hatch, huh?
Nope.
Nope.
Wow. Yeah, that is...
That's where my laundry stuff is.
You want to do laundry today?
Well, I mean,
yeah, we can get it thawed out.
I mean, the pile's getting kind of big. Yeah. But it's not a big deal. We can wait. See if it thaws on its own, I guess. You can see that Chris, in part of his upping our game here, he paneled the entire base of the RV, but he left this panel. Everything is secured tightly to keep the air out, but he left this panel open, and he just uses a brick right here, which was here at the campground, so he just uses that to prop that shut. But that's how he's able to still empty the tanks without, you know, but also keep everything else secure here. Other than that one board so that he can access the tanks and empty them as needed, all of the rest of this it's rigid insulation board. I think this is 2 inches. Is this 2-inch board? It looks a little thicker.
It's 2-inch board.
2-inch board, okay. All of these materials are left over from the house, but that's what that is, insulation board, and then he used zip system tape, which he loves. This is like his new favorite thing. It is very, very expensive, but it's waterproof. It does a great job of adhering anything and sticking, but at the same time, if you go to move it, you can easily remove it without it leaving any marks. It's great stuff, but it's also like $25 a roll. Like I said, we had some left over from the house that they were using on all kinds of stuff. Use that to secure the sheathing in between all the sheathing on the walls and the roof in the exterior. And then you can see here a heater that our campground actually had, and we have used it a few times. It's just nice if you do have frozen anything. It really helps you to be able to heat it up the exterior quickly. And theirs runs off of kerosene, but they were kind enough to let us use it as needed. So we have that. We have extra propane tanks now that we're in the winter. We actually bought a couple extra because we just go through them so quickly. You can see this is a little bit of a mess, and we got a bad ice storm last weekend, so everything is really icy underneath all the snow. The snow is actually not so bad, but the ice is really bad. And we also added an extra layer of insulation to our hose because our hose froze twice. It was fine all this time, but then once it got down below 0, it froze 2 nights in a row, and we were like, that's it. So Chris did that. You see he has it kind of up on bricks to try to keep it up out of, it had been encased in ice last weekend. So we're trying to keep it up out of that, and now of course we got 5 inches of snow. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Looking pretty good overall. But those are the main things that we've done. You can see Chris really did this so straight. He has that just perfectly done. And he says it has to be done perfectly in order, you know, perfectly straight and lined up, or otherwise you're just going to get air in there and it kind of defeats the purpose. So, I don't know. That's his advice anyway. So thanks so much for joining us and, you know, risking the cold with us. We hope this gives you some tips that you can use if you do end up in a cold winter climate at some point, and learn as you go. But otherwise, stay warm, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.